everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Elise. Thanks for stepping in. If you're not new, welcome back. It's always awesome to see you. Today we are doing a haul. It has been a little while since I have done one. Whenever I do a haul, I start collecting books that I have purchased since the last haul, and that stack is getting a little large, so I'm ready to tell you guys about them and put them on my shelves. That's what I keep glancing at over here. They're right here. We are going to kind of categorize them based on if they're new books, thrifted books, gifted books, and then some ebooks and audiobooks. Yes, we all know I have a problem. I have accepted it. If you are new to my channel, I'm currently in grad school for library and information science. I have been using books as incentive to get good grades, and so I have done pretty well on some projects lately, and so I have rewarded myself with buying books. But you know what? It's motivation, it makes me happy, and honestly, it's really one of the only things that I spend like extra money on, so it could be worse. So let's start with the new books that I have purchased since the last haul. Before I continue with this video, I would love to know down in the comments below, what was the last book that you purchased? We have You with a View by Jessica Joyce. I have a lot of Bookstagram friends and bookish friends who have read this and absolutely loved this. And I mean, look at this cover. How gorgeous is that? So our main female character, Noelle, is unemployed. She's kind of trying to find herself. Her grandmother passed away, and she discovers this like note, I guess. She found a man that her grandma used to love, and they tried to elope and it got stopped. She reaches out to that man and decides to go on the honeymoon that they never got to go on, and the man wants his son that's about her age to come along. So it's forced proximity, one bed trope. I get the feeling that they don't really like each other, and it looks like there's a lot of nature involved, which I love in my books. Next we have Hotel Magnifique, which I was trying to kind of read in the fall time, but that time is quickly coming to an end. Once December hits, it is like Christmas vibes for sure, so I don't think I'll get to this year. But I've heard really fun things about it, and it finally came out in paperback, which I was really excited about. All I know is that there's this one girl, I believe she's an orphan perhaps, and then this random hotel just magically appears in town. And there's a sign on it that says that they need employees, and she and her brother go to the Hotel Magnifique, and lots of things happen. I hear it's mysterious, whimsical, magical, and I'm excited to read it. Oh yeah, next we have Percy Jackson and the Chalice of the Gods. This is the 6th book in the Percy Jackson series. It is the newest edition. Apparently I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I don't know what the special content is, but I did get a sticker. How cute is that? Camp Half-Blood. I wish it was a little smaller, but it's still really fun. And I got some sort of decoding my Greek name. And then it also came with some sort of like little puzzle or little quiz or something to see if you're an indoor and outdoor kid. I have not read it yet because I lost my win for the Percy Jackson series. I'm hoping to restart with the Trials of Apollo in the early new year, January, February maybe, and then read this one as well. Then we have Cruel Seduction by Katie Robert. This is the next book that I have not read. I am excited to continue with the Dark Olympus series. It's been a while since I last touched on it, so I need to jump in again. This one follows Aphrodite and Hephaestus. Then we have King of Scars and Rule of Woods duology. It has been a while since I have been in the Grishaverse, and I am ready to hop back in. I got both of them because I knew once I finished one, I'd want to jump into the other. And they are thick boys. Then we have a River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. I have seen everyone freaking out over Divine Rivals. I have not read it myself, but I remember that that's the same author, and I was like, oh, I remember wanting to read this, so I just finally bought it. Are we surprised? All I know is that there is a journey, like a ship, they're crossing some body of water, probably a river, and someone goes missing. There's a mystery. I think there's kind of like some forbidden romance perhaps, and I've also heard that the second book in this, I believe it's a duology, is so good, so I'm excited to read this. Okay, next we have Pestilence by Lara Thalassa. It's the first in the Four Horsemen series, where a dark god comes to Earth to destroy it, and apparently they all find a human that kind of changes their mind. So this is Pestilence. I know there's like death and I I don't know. There's 2 others that I can't remember. But I do know that this is the new cover. I've wanted to read this for a while, but it got new covers, and I love this cover. Because as much as we love, like, a half-naked man on the cover, I'm a little over it. So I like this one instead. Next, very different from the others, but I wanted to start doing some more research, some more personal learning so that I am aware and I understand with everything going on. It has just made me realize how much I don't know about the world. There was this one Instagram reel. I will try to put it right here, or I will link it in the comments below. And it was just very educated and gave a list of various genocides that have occurred across history and books that explain them and gave a historical background, and this is one of them. So I have been slowly working through that list. I just finished one on the Romani. I am currently listening to one on Palestine, and so this is my next read from that list. Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, An Indian History of American West by D. Brown. I just try to read like 10 to 15 minutes a day, and you know, that adds up. Next we have Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. Happy release week! I actually found this early, like a full week early at a Walmart, and I snatched it so fast. I still haven't read it. I haven't had time. I do know it's Ali Hazelwood's young adult debut. It has to do with chess. Our main female character had a family member pass away that loved chess, and so after they passed away she never wanted anything to do with it again. And then she finds out that she can make money playing chess, and her friend kind of like encourages her to fill in for a team member, and then just kind of snowballs from there. So I think this is a rivals to lovers situation. Love this cover, love these colors, just so pretty, and I just love Ali Hazelwood, so I'm excited to read it. Then we have Mixed Signals by B.K. Borison, because I thought this was the last book in the series. However, she just posted on her Instagram that she turned in the 5th manuscript to be edited and is working on the 6th. So I'm like, because I don't want to start it until the series is finished, even though they're probably interconnected. I'm not sure. I have exciting news. Speaking of B.K. Borison, kind of, it's sort of interconnected. I don't really talk about my writing journey on this channel, but I finally put a down payment down on artwork for my book. And it is the same artist as B.K. Borison's covers. Her name is Sam. Her Instagram is Ink and Laurel. So we are going to work together and make a cover for my book. I'm so excited. So sorry to digress from this book. I don't know anything about this book. I just know it's a romance. I know it's set in the Love Light Farms world, which I plan to try and read in the winter. I think it has to do with a bakery. I see a cake. I just know it's going to be a great time. Next we have Payback's a Witch, because I was in a witchy mood when I bought this. Again, I was going to try and get to this during the fall, but it looks like that's not going to be the case. I've heard great things about this series. I think the 3rd one just released and everyone had a good time with it. This main female character, Emmy, is a witch. She's not very powerful, but she left the town that she grew up in, called Thistle Grove, because of a self-imposed exile. I'm not sure why, but then something happens and she comes back, and then lots of stuff happens. It sounds fun. So remember when I said I got good grades and I rewarded myself? I went a little crazy. I just recently finished the Twisted series, and I already miss Anna Huang's writing, so I got King of Wrath and King of Pride. I know I probably should have just started with one, but I know I love Anna's writing. I'm excited to get into these. Although honestly, I don't know if I want to wait until she's done writing them. But there's going to be 7 books in the series. I don't want to wait that long. Also, I need to adjust because my toes are numb. I don't know why I film on my knees. Okay, next I finally took the plunge. Because I saw that the series is finished, and that is Flawless and Heartless by Elsie Silver. It's the 1st and the 2nd in the, oh, I forget what the series is called. I don't know what it's called, what the series is called, but I got these. I'm excited to try them. I hear a lot of people absolutely love her and her writing, and a lot of people that I trust really enjoy this series, so I'm excited to finally give it a try. Then we have Scarred, which is the 2nd in the Twisted wait. So this is the sequel to the Hooked book. I forget what the series is called. The Never After novel. There we go. I have such a great memory. I just know I'm gonna love this series, and so I wanted the next one on hand so that I could read it immediately. Also, I think this is the favorite of the series so far that's been released. So a lot of people love this one. This is the first one that I saw of the series, and then I realized that there was another book before this, and this one follows Scar from The Lion King, so that'll be interesting. So that's it with the new books. Let's move on to the thrifted ones. I got from Half Price Books. I actually did a book shopping vlog and haul, so I'm not going to talk much about them. I'm just going to breeze through them. First we have Ella Enchanted, which is one of my favorite books of all time. Then we have It Happened One Summer. I love this book. I'm hoping to do a Grumpy Sunshine book recommendation soon, and this one definitely will be on there. And then we have the Sizzle Reel, which I have not read yet, but I've heard fun things. Buy Panic is happening in here, which we love. And yeah, so I'm just excited to read this. It looks more like a spring or summer read. I've heard fun things and I want to read it. Next we have books from my library secondhand shelf where you donate money for the books that you buy. And first we have Assassin's Blade. How could anyone get rid of this book? It's beyond me. So I got it for $1. I have all of these books on audiobook and ebook, and I'm slowly collecting them right here, kind of behind this one, just as I see them. Either both of the covers, honestly, but I prefer these, if I'm being honest. I'll probably one day have both. I'm excited to have this on my shelf. Then we have On Mystic Lake by Kristen Hanna. This lady, Annie, has learned of her husband's infidelity, and so she goes to a small town where she grew up to kind of like recover and figure out herself and her life. Then she's reunited with her first love and his daughter, and together the three of them begin to heal. It just sounds wholesome, small town, second chance romance, just rediscovery of the self. It just sounded sweet and nice. I grabbed it for like $1. Then we have The Island of the Sea Women. This one has been on my TBR for a while because it's based in South Korea. It's based on the stories, real life stories of sea women off of Jeju Island. If you're new to my channel, I used to live and teach English in South Korea for 3 years. I went to Jeju each of those 3 years, and it is one of my favorite places on the planet. I love it so much. It has such a special place in my heart. And on Jeju, there are these women who were the breadwinners for their families. They would go and they would free dive into the ocean and collect, you know, sea creatures, clams, all of these things, and then bring them back and sell them and provide for the family with them. So that's what this story is about, and I'm just really excited to read it and to revisit Jeju through the pages of this book. Then we have A Man Called O by Frederick, or is it Friedrich or Frederick? If you know, please let me know. I've tried to research it, but I get mixed result. I read this earlier in the year. I borrowed it from the library, and it's one of my favorite reads this year, so I thought that it would be really nice to have it on my shelves. I'm actually going to put this in a stack back here because I am getting ready for my like end of year wrap up. It's coming so soon, you guys, and I like to talk about my favorite books of the year, and that is one of them so far. Then we have this tiny little bookstore in a town close to my home. I absolutely love it. So the way that it works there is that you can trade in books and then you get a discount on the actual price of the book. Everything is half off, or if you trade in books, you get 1/4 of the title price. So my mom and I go there so often that they know our names and like they know our card, and so they just like get the card out as soon as we come. Which is really adorable, but also a little embarrassing. Anyway, I found some really great books. First we have All the Feels by Olivia Dade. I have the second 2 books in this series. Tell me why I get the like second and third books first before I get the first book. It makes no sense, but finally got the first book. Now I can start that series, hopefully. Celebrity. He has a wrecked reputation. Lauren is an ER therapist and hired to keep him in line. Ooh, she looks a little sassy. I love it. Excited to read this. Celebrity romance, I guess, and kind of forced proximity. Then we have Wild at Heart and Forever Wild by K.A. Tucker. I have Simple Wild on my shelves. I've heard excellent things. A lot of people I really trust, and we have similar reading interests. Love the series. They love this book and Simple Wild, so I was like, oh, awesome, and I just grabbed them to continue the collection of the series that I have not started and don't even know if I would like, but I think I'm gonna like it. Then we have The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I absolutely love this book, one of my favorite reads of the year. I just wanted to collect it. I really want to annotate it. I think that it would be so fun to annotate this. It's kind of a story about adventure and life taking you on a journey that you don't always expect, but you can learn and grow so much from that. And it's just like, you know, the choice of staying where you are and keeping things the same, or like going on that journey and letting life take you where it's meant to take you. I feel like every time I think about this book, I discern a different meaning from it, and I just love that. Very excited to have this on my shelves. I swear last time I did a haul, I was gonna say different synonyms for excited, but my brain just jumps to excited. I'm sorry. Next we have Too Hot to Handle by Tessa Bailey. I think it's the next book in a series. I think it's a series. Oh, okay, so I thought it was the Hot and Hammered series. I read Fix Her Up earlier this year, and so for some reason I thought this was part of that series. It's not. I think it's part of the Romancing the Clarksons series. Tessa Bailey has so many books. If you're interested, you should go look at her backlist. She has an insane number of books that she's written. I don't know how she does it. It's amazing. Okay, well, that'll be fun. I know it'll be spicy. And last but not least, at that bookstore, they have a windfall table where if you spend a certain amount, you get a free book from that table. Usually it's kind of older one, but I saw Sabrina Cain by W. Cook, and it reminded me of my friend Autumn, who is not on YouTube anymore, but I support her decision to take care of herself and choose what she needs first, like, obviously. So, but this still reminded me of her, and I was like, okay, let me try it. It talks about her kind of being a wild child and like a nature gal, and I'm like, that's me. So I thought I would try it out when I just need like a short, funny read. Books are books that were gifted to me. First we have Out on a Limb by Hannah Bottom Young from Autumn, my queen. I am so stinking excited to read this. I'm gonna try and squeeze it into my December TBR, even though that's already a mile long. Like, over here, back here, do you see that? That's my December TBR. So we're gonna add it to this afterwards. I don't know too much about this story, but I have just heard so many excellent things about Hannah Bottom Young's writing and her stories. Everyone who reads her books falls in love head over heels with the characters. I've already seen a ton of graphics and character art and what is the word called, where you like collages of this book, and it like just came out recently, like this year. That came out in 2023, and Autumn left me a little note. Putting it on the December TBR. Okay, and last but not least, I have Gleam by Raven Kennedy. This is part of the Plated Prisoner series. I have only read the first one, but my library director and I were talking about it, and she read, I think this is the third one actually, so I need to read the second one first, but she and I were talking about it, and I told her, you know, I hadn't read it yet, and so she gave it to me after she read it. Good gosh, this is thick too. I didn't realize it was so many pages. Okay, my friends, let's talk about the last category, which is ebooks and audiobooks. First we have The House Witch by Delamak. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. I bought this when it was on sale, and it is absolutely delightful. I'm having the best time reading it, and normally if I had the time I would have zoomed through this already and finished it, but I'm just kind of reading it in snippets, and I'm having the best time. I cannot wait to read the rest of the series. There are 3 books in the series. It's about a house witch who is a deficient witch, because normally witches have elements, but his element kind of mutated into a witch of the home, keeping it safe and warm and cozy and comforting. Just so many things happen. It's very fast paced. It's a floating third-person narrator, which I don't normally love, but Delamak did a fantastic job, and I'm having the best time. I can really tell that by the end of the series you're going to know all about the world and all about the people in it, and it follows our main character Finn, who's the witch, and he's tall, lanky, and redheaded. Just my favorite type of male character. Then we have the Roma by Charles River Editor, which is part of that collection I was telling you about of books about the histories and genocides. Then we have Daughter of the Sun by Amanda Owler. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. I follow her on Instagram, and I've kind of been following her journey as she finished and started selling the second book in this series, and it's been really fun. And this book went on sale, so it was kind of fun to like support her. And this book has really fantastic reviews. All I know is it's young adult, and she kind of markets it as like Shadow and Bone meets Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I enjoy both of those. Then we have Party of Two by Jasmine Guillory, which was also on sale. I have read 2 books in this series, the Wedding Date series. I would say they're my absolute favorite books, but they are a fun, light, easy read, so I thought I would grab it for when I needed a fun, light, easy read. Then we have the entire Shades of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. I have read the first book of the series, and I'm very excited to continue it. This was also on sale. I got all of them for $8. Isn't that crazy? Then we have the Roommate Risk by Talia Hibbert, which I actually got for free. I think she was doing some sort of promotion. I just read my first Talia Hibbert book last month, and I absolutely loved it. It was highly suspicious and unfairly cute, so I'm very excited to read more of her writing. Then we have Keeper of Enchanted Rooms by Charles N. Holmes. I almost got this as an audiobook when it was on sale. Audible does like daily deals, and I almost got it, and I regretted not getting it the next day, and then the ebook went on sale, so I got the ebook. Apparently it's this house, this enchanted house that is like misbehaving, and so they send like a witch or someone with powers to go and like it kind of reminds me of like The Cat Whisperer, you know, when the cats are like crazy, that show, right? And he goes and he makes the cats like calm and like well behaved. It reminds me of that, but like with houses that misbehave magically. It sounds really fun. I'm excited to read it. Then we have Need Some More Time by Nellie Wilson. This was also on sale, and my really good friend Carlina loves this author. She did like this whole collage of it on her Instagram, and so if Carlina reads it and loves it, then I know I'll read it and love it too. Apparently it's pretty short. It's about this teacher who just gets burnt out during COVID, so it's kind of like real life. I guess that's kind of like trigger warning too, if that's something that would be tough for you to read. Then we have Broken French by Tasha Boyd. This is a nanny, like abroad romance. Then we have a few that I've actually already read. We have I Married a Naga by Regine Abel, I Married a Birdman, and I Married a Minotaur. I bought all of these on like Triple Points Kindle Triple Points Day. I've already read I Married a Birdman and I Married a Naga. So I'm giving it a little bit of a rest before I pick up the next one. Actually, the next one is I Married a Mermaid, so I need to get that one first. Let's move on to audiobooks. Okay, we had a few 2-for-1 sales, so I purchased The Electric Kingdom by David Arnold. This is on my November TBR. I've already started it, and I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of YA dystopian / science fiction. There is this like flu that invades the world, and these flies go crazy and like eat anything that's alive. And this is after that happened. Then we have Reckless by Elsie Silver. This was on sale the other day. I know I haven't even started the series, guys. I know I'm terrible, but I just know that I'm gonna like the series, and so I went on a gamble. Then we have Like a Love Story by Abdi Nazamian. Then we have Spells for Beginning by Adrienne Young. I do have the book over there, and I really enjoyed tandem reading lately. It's just helped me get through books when normally I would not be able to get through books. Then we have Darling Girl by Liz Mikulski, which I also have right here. I also would like to tandem read it, and the narrator sounded awesome. Then we have Woods of the Raven by Mary Combs, which I have never heard of this author before, but I read the synopsis and I listened to the narrator and it sounded really fun. I think it maybe has something to do with like a witch and a police officer. I don't know. Then we have 7 Days in June, which I also own. Again, I wanted to tandem read. Then we have The Last Word, which I do not own, but I've been wanting to read this book so badly, and I've looked at like all of these bookstores and I can't find it, so that means it's either really good or really bad, so I guess I'll find out. Basically, this woman writes a scathing review of an author's book. The author asks her to take it down. She refuses, and then she starts experiencing weird, crazy, life-threatening stuff. Then we have The Bone Witch, which I also own and I want to tandem read. It's by Rin Chupeco. I read one of their books earlier this year and I really enjoyed it, so I'm very excited to read another one of their books. I don't know much about this. It's young adult witches. Their family has a gift of necromancy. They're kind of ostracized. The witch has to leave her home to get training and learn how to control her magic because a war is brewing in the 8 kingdoms, a war that will threaten the sovereignty of her homeland and threaten the very survival of those she loves. Then we have another one, The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. I own it as well and I just wanted to be able to tandem read it. Okay, a few more. Next we have Sign Here by Claudia Lux, I believe. This one is about a demon who I guess gets people to sign their soul away, and so he gets this one woman to sign her soul away, but I think they maybe start falling in love. Then we have The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. My good friend Carlina, the one I told you about earlier, she loves this book so much, so when I saw it I was like, okay, auto buy. Then we have The Adventures of Amina al-Sirafi, which is a female pirate, or I guess she's like the captain of the ship, and they go on a bunch of kind of misadventures. Then we have When Women Were Dragons, and look at this cover. I love this cover so much. I've had to convince myself not to buy it physically because of the cover. I don't really remember what this one is about, just women and dragons, which are two things that I love, so it's gonna be great. Then we have The Sunbearer Trials by Adrienne Thomas. I actually just finished Cemetery Boys this morning, so I'm excited to read more of their writing. I enjoyed the writing style. It was a really good mix, my favorite kind of what I call blueprint writing, where it's kind of like it just tells you exactly like it is, and lyrical writing where it gives you like more flowery, more literary descriptions, and I love a good combination of the two, and so I'm excited to read this. I've heard great things from it. Okay, I'm sure I missed something, but I think that's it for this haul. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Also, we are like so close to 1,000 subscribers. I just want to thank each and every one of you who has subscribed to my channel and cheered me on and left a comment and gave this video a thumbs up. You guys make my day. I love talking about books, if you guys can tell already. You guys just make my day brighter, and I just want to thank you for watching this video. Alright, I'm gonna stop talking because I could continue talking about books pretty much forever, and I have to go to work, so I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well whenever and wherever you're watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye everyone. My foot is entirely numb. Oh my gosh.